Yo, what's good, guys? Another video here. Today we got just a random little video that popped up on my recommended how I see the USA as a German after 6 months. Now, this is by a smaller YouTuber called Daniel Hamburger. I always link the videos I react to in the comments, but if you guys enjoy this video watching it with me, I suggest checking them out because, you know, I always react to bigger YouTubers, and now that I'm finally like a bigger guy on YouTube than somebody, I feel like it's my duty to shout them out, you know?
America is the best country. At least that's what all Americans claim.
Oh, Mitchell, what's the
Hold on,
Did you
rewind
know
that.
America is the best country? At least that's what all Americans claim.
Nah, bro. First off, Mr. Daniel, not all Americans claim that. I, as an American, would argue that the best country doesn't exist because the best country for me might not be the best country for you. You know, like, it's all on where's the best place to live as an individual. So I don't feel like the best country could exist under that logic.
Oh, Mitchell, what's the best country?
America. Why?
Well,
Damn.
myself, just from the last 6 months.
I was about to say damn right, because it's like, I feel like, despite I do genuinely feel like the best country don't exist, I'm always like gonna back my people, if that makes sense, you know? So when I hear someone say America's the best country, I'm always gonna be like, damn right, because like, that's my people. Like, of course I'm gonna back my country, but like, realistically, I kind of see more of an argument for the best country doesn't exist.
In the United States. And if it's actually the best country or not, I'm gonna tell you in this video. Enjoy. It has already been 6 months that I decided to leave my home country Germany and travel to the United States.
This is really cool too, because most of these kind of videos I've seen is of like Americans who have left America. So this is cool to see like a European come to America.
A country that turned out couldn't be more different than my home country. But you may ask, why did I choose to travel America? What's so special about it in the first place? And it might be not a big deal for Americans because you live here. But every time I watch the American movie, it kind of felt like I'm diving into a whole different world. It kind of looks familiar, but still so much more different than Europe. It just looks bigger, more exciting, and it makes you wonder if that's actually the case in America. And especially you get exposed to American culture every time in Europe. I came with some expectations.
It's just got the American just slapping all the that's funny. I like this guy's editing. You know what? I like his editing. His editing is funny.
And my number one expectation was probably that everything has to be bigger in America. You know, bigger is better. And yes, that's absolutely true. And it's not even the obvious things like street and cars, it's just everything. Even basic grocery stores are as big as the biggest one you can find in Germany. Literally, in America, you can spend hours deciding what toilet paper brand you want to buy. Whereas
That is true. I didn't realize that was a big
in
thing.
Germany, there are maybe like 3 brands, that's it. I even met an European once that told me she got lost in Target. Maybe she was just too
Damn.
fair, but yeah. So I already
How do you get lost in what? Like, I can understand like getting lost from your people, but how do you get lost in if you're ever okay, I'm gonna give y'all some advice. If you're ever lost in like a big American store like Target or Walmart, just go to the exterior walls and just follow that, and you'll eventually make it to the front door.
already got used to calling an SUV a small car, even though it's one of the biggest you'll find in Germany. The fact that everything is so big in America just makes living here to an experience. America has the best food, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's completely the opposite. It's actually really bad. And what I mean by that, it's just not authentic. If it's Lebanese, Italian, or Turkish food, you just get an Americanized version of it that tastes plain and greasy. And don't get me wrong, there are good restaurants in America, but they are just harder to find and way more expensive. That's probably also
Okay, whenever I get the opportunity to like visit Europe, I gotta start checking out these restaurants, man. I have to. Y'all talk down on us so much. Like I gotta see what y'all talking about.
the reason why Americans prefer fast food restaurants, just because it's cheap and not that bad. Definitely better than some restaurants.
Well, okay, I disagree with that. The reason a lot of people prefer the fast food restaurants is because it's fast. Like, in my head, if I'm just hungry and I have time, like, I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm going to McDonald's because I'm on the go, I gotta get stuff done, and I'm hungry. That's why I'm going to McDonald's. If I want to get a good-ass burger, I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm going somewhere else.
That charge you $40 for dinner. But to be fair, Mexican food here is really good. Everybody's obese in America. And I know the statistics say America is
Facts.
one of the most
Facts. I'm at least I am. I'm fat ass. I'm not ashamed of it.
of these countries. And let's not question math at this point. But honestly, I can't agree. And I bet it depends on the state you live in. In
I
my
agree with
case, it's
that.
Colorado. But I experience Americans more fit and in shape than in Germany. It just seems like people in America are more into sports.
I feel like that varies state to state, though, right? Like, say there's places where half the year, like say where I live, you know, when it gets a little colder out, like, you know, I'm damn near below zero. Like, dude, I don't go outside a whole lot during those months. So I'm really only outside during the summer months. But then the summer months, like especially this summer, it's been hot as hell. You know, there's places in like say Texas where people were dying from the heat. So I feel like that varies state to state by quite a bit.
Nutrition. They do way more activities in their free time, like going on ride bikes or hikes. It's just not like I see more of these people here than I did in Germany, even though the statistics say something else. Everybody has a gun. And that's kinda true. Like, before I came to the United States, all friends told me, oh, don't get shot. Oh, aren't you afraid to get shot? Aren't you afraid of all mass shootings and whatsoever? And yes, most people I know in America have a gun. I couldn't even name one single person in Germany that has a gun. And don't get me wrong, it's definitely a problem in the United States, but it's not the case that you're afraid to go outside because there are so many mass shootings, so everybody walks around with a gun. And once again, maybe it depends on the state. And guys, just wait.
Thank you. This is kind of what I've been trying to get across to a lot of you guys. Because a lot of you guys, and again, like he said, we're not saying it's not a problem, but like a lot of you guys overhype the fear of guns, right? Like, y'all act like we can't even walk down the street, or I saw a comment where like somebody doesn't even think like some girl running away from some dude beating her up could knock on a door. Like, that's not true. That's not how crazy it is. Like, are there some extreme things that happen now and then that make global news that make you guys believe that? Yes, but like on a day-to-day, no. Like, it's not like you're gonna die because you knocked on a door, or like you can't cross the street. Like, it's not like that at all.
By the way, if you're enjoying the content so far, just leave a like and subscribe. There are definitely
This dude's actually so far making a really good video, so
coming up more videos with my lovely German accent. I didn't expect to experience that many cultural shocks. Even though America is on a complete different continent, it still looks kind of familiar and I speak the language. It's not like China where everything looks completely different and I can't even speak the language. And honestly, I couldn't be more wrong than this. Because let me tell you something. To all of you who thought the native language in the United States is English, I have to disappoint you. Because it's actually smiling. One thing Germans are not used to at all. In my first week, I got so overwhelmed by the niceness of all Americans. And until today, I still didn't figure out if it's just fake or people in America are actually this nice. But
honestly, both. Like, depending on like the individual, because there is definitely a lot of fake ass niceness. Like, there's a lot of fake people, like two-faced people, but there's also a lot of generally nice people. So there's both. But that's funny because I was just talking about how nice Germans are, and now he's talking about how nice we are.
honestly, I don't even care. I just appreciate it. I still remember my first day here where I went to the grocery and the cashier asked me how my day has been. And I got so confused. I was like, is she talking to me? Most you can get in Germany is a hello. That's it. And at least I figured out if someone asks you how's your day, especially in grocery stores, they don't really expect an answer. It's just because they're nice.
It's kind of like a basic greeting, really. Like, hey, how are you? Like, that's a basic greeting. Like, that's basically our version of, like, hello. Like, hey, how's your day? How you doing?
Cultural shock number 2. And it has probably something to do with the first cultural shock, but people here just start random conversations with someone. And I really like it. It's just so normal here to walk up to someone and start a little small talk. It definitely took me some time to get used to it. At the beginning I was
I do that a lot. I mean, hell, just today in a grocery store, I had small talk about how, like, the automatic wheelchair things for older people in grocery stores should have better horns.
I was like, okay, who is that? I don't even know him. Does he try to sell me something? But I guess it's just the attitude of Americans to be nice and...
Well, there's also a lot of people trying to sell you stuff, too. Like, that definitely happens. But normally you can kind of weed it out. Like, you can tell, like, who's there for a job and trying to sell you something and who's just... have like it's normally pretty easy to tell the difference.
Socialize. Next cultural shock, you really rely on a car in America. It just takes you so long to get from one point to another that without a car you are really screwed. You can
That's
literally
true.
tell Americans use their car a lot because everything is built around the car. For example, streets and parking lots are way bigger. Everything has a drive-through and pedestrian walks are almost non-existent. Especially for someone who likes to go on walks, that kinda sucks. And in
That's not true. Like, at least for where I live, that's not true at all. But that's definitely... There are places that are like that, so I can't say completely that's not true. But at least that's not true everywhere.
In general, you can almost tell Americans are almost afraid to walk a certain distance because they rather take their car instead of walking 20 minutes. And now you may
That is very true, though. That is very true, because I think it comes down to just we've become so used to using our cars. Like... So that part is very true.
think, okay, if they drive that much, they have to be good at it, right? And no, that's
No. People are fucking horrible. People, you know what? All I'm gonna say is, trust me, they're fucking awful.
absolutely not the case. I don't even know if that's the fact that you can drive with 16 or that the driving test is the easiest I've ever seen. And I think the driving rules make it even worse. They are definitely not as
Also, they're not, I feel like he's about to say,
strict as
yeah, like, for example, well, depending on where you're at, right, the speed limit, it's kind of a suggestion. Like, I hate to say it, but, like, at least, especially where I live, like, if you're going the speed limit, man, you're probably going to get a couple of middle fingers your way because, man, you need to hurry up. People got things to do.
in Germany. So for example, everybody's speeding. Even if it's 40 miles an hour, everybody goes with 60.
Yep.
Just because there are no speed cameras, so almost no speed control at all. And the
Also, it's like, there's also little, like, hidden ways. Like, for example, like, if somebody flashes their lights at you, that means slow down. Like, we have our own little, like, language of, like, hey, there's a cop up there. So, like, we're all, like, warning each other and shit, too.
worst thing, you can even use your mobile phone while driving. That's a no-go in Germany.
That's not allowed here either, and highly unrecommended to do, but it happens.
In addition, the cars itself are just not as safe as in Germany. If anything is not okay with your car in Germany that might be dangerous for other people in traffic, you are not allowed to drive your car. Here I almost see cars falling apart. That's probably the reason why there are so many random things like
There is supposed to be, like, an inspection you do on your car every year, but, like, people just don't listen. Like, you're supposed to get a sticker and an inspection on your car, but for one, it's not as strict as it probably is in Germany, which I think is what he's trying to say. And also, like, it's just pretty easy to get around.
hanging around on the streets. Actually, I could make a whole video about why driving in America sucks. So let's just
He should do that. Yo, listen, if you see this video, my man, you should do that.
move on to the next point. America
Matter of fact, if anyone comes from my video, just comment you came from my video, because I want him to see this. Just because, hey, I'm down to, like, do, like, a video with this guy, because this dude's got really good video editing skills, and if I can help, he only has 15 subscribers, like, when I'm watching this video, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second, let me look. Yeah, 15 subscribers. And this is, like, a really good video, so, like, I am down to, like, do a video with this dude, and maybe I can help him grow a little bit. Like, if we can get this guy some more subscribers, let's do it, because this dude seems cool.
Americans are just proud to be Americans. They are proud to be born here and nothing can change that. Even if the
I agree
country is
with that.
falling apart, they will still say America is the best country. And on
See, I mean, the reason we say that is because it's shoved down our throat so much. But, like, say, even me, right, where I've done all these, like, videos, and it's opened my eyes a lot to, like, the flaws we have, I will never say I'm not proud to be an American. And it has nothing to do with the government or anything like that as much as, like, I'm proud to be from where I'm from. I'm proud to, you know, call myself American and have the, you know, life I've had here. Is everything perfect? Not by any means, but I'm still never gonna, like, be ashamed of where I come from.
Honestly, Germany could apply more of this attitude. You can even tell how proud Americans are by looking at the way they celebrate things. They always have huge parades for almost everything, not only for holidays. Last cultural shock before we're moving on to the main question. The unit system. And guys, I'm gonna keep this one short because we all know the metric system is superior. Now, after 6 months, I'm kinda used to the imperial system, but it's still so much more confusing and it just doesn't come natural to me. They're just
I have the same issue the other way around. So like, because people like talk about meters, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
so much more units you have to remember. Like for example, distances. You have inch, feet, miles, and it just doesn't make any sense. For example, why is 1 feet 12 inches? I just don't understand the fact that America is almost the only country on the planet Earth that doesn't use the metric system.
because we're stubborn. That's why.
Do I miss Germany? And the short answer is definitely no. But honestly, it's kinda an unfair comparison, just because the last couple of years in Germany were kinda boring. I just went through high school, college, did some side jobs, and I definitely didn't travel that much as I do right now. Especially traveling just makes America to an experience. And despite that, I still didn't get used to America. Even speaking another language makes it just more entertaining, I don't know. And don't get me wrong, I still have boring days in America as well, but somehow it still doesn't make me miss Germany. Is that maybe a proof that America...
I'd be curious. He said he's been here 6 months. I'd be curious to see if he misses Germany more after a year of being here, or 2 years of being here. I don't know how long he plans to stay here. But, like, that for me would be my interest. Like, as time goes and he kind of gets more... Because right now it's still new. It's still fun. He's still experiencing a lot of things. Right? He hasn't even experienced all the seasons yet. He's still getting accustomed. So I'm curious, once he's accustomed to being here, if he will still feel that way.
is actually the best country? Definitely no. Even though Americans always claim it, I think it's a side effect that they are just way too proud and have never been outside the United States.
That's true.
But is
I agree with
America a
that.
great country everybody should experience at least once in his life? Definitely yes. I can't really explain why, but there's some kind of magic in America that just lets you feel like living in a movie. Maybe it's the fact that America is actually like presented in movies. Everything has to be extreme, more exciting and bigger or whatever.
I've said that many times. This is a place of extremes. Extreme highs and extreme lows.
They just make an experience out of everything. Can you agree with my opinion, or do you think America is the best country? Let me know in the comments.
I gotta agree with him on here. My man spoke a lot of facts. Yo, subscribe to this dude, man. Subscribe, ring the bell, like this video. We gotta get this dude's numbers up. Let's try to, first of all, subscribe to me if you can, but also subscribe to Mr. Daniel Hamburger. I'll have a link to this video in the description. I always link the videos I react to, but like, I wanna see this guy. I wanna see this guy get. I feel like we can at least get him to like 40 subscribers, right? I hope. Get this guy's numbers up. Either way, I'm out. Bye.
With